Hello, and today we are going to be making something interesting. What do you notice that these objects have in common? They all have circles. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go and get some things around your house that have circles. Ask your parents' permission, of course. And you can get things like little pots, or this is like a squeezer for lemons, or glasses, or another plant pot, different objects that have circles, even a glue stick. Get those and put them beside you because we're going to need them today. I'm just going to set these off to the side now. And something else you're going to need today is you're going to need a pencil and an eraser. I like to have 2 pencils. And you're going to need some pencil crayons or some markers, whatever you prefer. And if you want, you can get a black pen to do some fine line detail if you like, or a Sharpie. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some abstract art with circles, or some geometrical art. So what I'd like to do first is pick a circle that I want to start with. And I'm thinking I want to use a big circle to start with. So I'm going to set my big circle on the page here, and I'm going to run my circle around. And I think I only want to have maybe 1 or 2 bigger circles in this. So this one I'm actually going to let come off the side here as well. Bring that around. So just start tracing some circles, and you don't have to do it the same as I am, because obviously you're going to have some different size things. So start by placing it and doing some overlapping so that you get these really interesting, really neat sections like this. And some of you might remember this as like a Venn diagram. So what I like to do is continue to just place circles on the page, overlapping so you get these cool intersections. I'm going to switch now to something smaller. I think it might be nice here because then I can intersect 2 separate circles with this circle. By intersect, I mean wherever a line crosses another line. That's called an intersection. And as these lines cross each other and intersect, you get these interesting shapes all over. I like to grab different size circles though and try to do some really cool intersections. Like if you come across this area where there's a bunch of intersections with a small one, then you get ones like this. And what does that look like? It looks like maybe a basketball or a tennis ball or something with these marks on it. So I'm going to grab this pot because this is a different size than what I've been using, and just continue to add different circles on this piece of paper until I'm happy with it. So while I'm doing this, you can take your eyes off the video if you like, and you can start doing this for yourself, adding in circles and continuing to do this. If you get really ambitious, you could try adding in some different shapes as well. If you had, like this glass has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's more of an 8-sided thing. I won't use it today, but I mean, you could use an 8-sided shape. If you have different shapes, that might make it interesting as well. So I'm just going to continue to add circles. You see how it's getting really interesting in here? And there's something else in drawings that, or in photographs, that is important. It's called negative space. So if you see these areas here, or this big one in here, it's sometimes nice to leave some of these negative spaces in here for the final composition. So what I like to do here is maybe I'll add another one in here. Maybe I'll add a smaller one over here. Still maintaining some negative space. Let's grab another glass here. Maybe I'll add one in here that doesn't even touch the other circle. Maybe one more in here. And I'm almost happy with this now. I'm going to grab my little one and add a couple more little circles in here. I like it better when it intersects each time if I can help it. So let's add another one in here. And if you ever make a little mistake like I did, making mistakes is normal. You can just erase it and fix it, and it's no big deal. I make mistakes all the time. That's how I learn. And I know that I can still make it look very nice. And if you see little things like this, you can fix that up too. I would like to add a couple more. I didn't get to use this yet, and I kind of wanted to. So I'm going to use this jar, this little jar of magnesium. Come around. There we go. And maybe this pot has two different sides, so you can use this side or that side. Maybe I'll use this side. Where do I want to add one? Right here looks quite nice. There we go. And I don't think I've made this too complicated. Let's see here. I want to add one more somewhere. Let's use the back of this glass because that's a smaller one. And that looks great. What do you think about it? Does it look interesting? So now that I've got this, now is the time to start putting in some color. So what you want to do is you want to alternate colors. You don't want to have, consider each one of these its own little section. So color each little section in as you like, but make sure not to have colors the same that touch. So I will show you right now. I'm thinking I like this area here, so I'm going to put some blue in right here. There we go. So you see how I've colored in this little blue area. And now these ones are nothing yet. So I was thinking orange is a nice complementary color to blue. So why don't I add orange? Let's add orange right here. And it starts to look quite interesting once you start filling these sections in. So let's see. Teal is a beautiful color as well. Let's switch to some teal. Teal would actually go quite nice next to this blue here. And once you start filling these things in, it'll start to take shape. And you can just do that throughout here, picking and choosing different colors. And something else you can do, if you wanted to do a two color, you could go with just an orange and a blue, or do like 3 different oranges, 3 different blues, and just see how that looks. And just try out new things. It's not too difficult to make up another one of these if you test something out and you maybe want to try something different. Something else you could do is when you get to this stage, if you have a photocopier at home or a printer, you can always take a picture of this and then print a different copy, and then print that on your printer, and then you can have different ones and you can just color them however you like. You could even share them with your friends. So, and you can see how a whole bunch of different people take the same amount of lines and then make them into something that looks totally different. I feel like green would be a nice addition to this, and maybe I'll work on a section here that ties in. There's nothing wrong with leaving some of the sections blank as well. Like if you choose certain ones and you want to leave them white, like they're the background or something, and that you don't want any color in there, you can do that too. You can also use textures in here. You could take a ruler and put some lines across, which is really interesting. You can do polka dots or just different textures. So today I'm just going to do it this way because I just want to show this example, and see how I went over the lines there a little bit, but that's okay. The nice thing about working with pencil crayon and working light is you can erase if you need to. There we go. Let's see, I'm gonna go purple now, or this is maybe more pink. Pinky purple, I like this color. Some of my favorite colors when I was a kid are different now. I used to just like green and blue, but now after doing art for many years, I actually like all colors. Pink is one of my favorite colors now. I quite like it. Pink and purple, yellow. Another complementary color, ones that go really together, are yellow and purple. They go quite well together. And you could always make a comment below if you know other colors that you think go together. Another one that I like, even though one of them is very dark, is I like black and red. Black and red go quite nicely together. So you can see now that I'm just continuing to fill this in. And it's starting to take some very interesting shape. Maybe I'll use a red in here. There we go. See how that's starting to really look interesting? And once you get some of the things filled in, like if you look here and we look at this big circle here, I'm pretty much just working on filling this circle in so far. But as you fill each one in, like let's say I decided to, I guess I could use a lighter orange over here. And then maybe in this bigger area, I could go with maybe a navy blue might be nice. Sometimes if you use a stronger, this might be more of like a purpley blue, but I think it's going to look interesting here. If you have like some heavy contrast, like something else you could do here is you could go through certain areas and you could color them in like black. And then just like very dark. Even with you could even do it with a Sharpie if you like. And then leave other areas white. You could do this whole thing black and white. You just have to be careful that the areas don't touch. But I mean, you could join a few of the areas together and make this into something completely different. And that's great too. Whatever you end up doing, I think is going to be amazing. Because it's really nice to play with different types of art like this and try it out. There we go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sections left until I am done this circle. And you can repeat colors. Like you can see here that I've used this color over there already. You might want to use a bigger pencil than this, but I like to keep pencils, especially if they're a color that I really like, and use them all up. Instead of throwing them out and buying new ones, I like to use them all up. I think some of these pencil crayons here are actually my dad's from when he was young, and he was born in 1952. So, but the pencil crayons still work, so might as well use them. let's see here. Why don't we add in this color here, and these are not touching, so it'll be really interesting if they're opposite. And some of these circles, an interesting thing you could do is, like, let's say I was looking at this circle here. I'm going to try something. I'm going to color this part purple. And then this one. Let's see. And then I'm going to do this one. Try something interesting here. Next, let's see. What color will I choose for this? Guess I could try use some orange in here. That seems to go nicely together. And it doesn't even matter if your color is here and here, because it won't be touching. If it's across an intersection like that, that's okay. Let's do another one here. So you can take little sections and give them their own character. So if you look at each of these circles as its own entity, even though it's joined with other circles, you can think that this will work quite well together. Now I'm going to put this orange as well, but I won't do this middle section orange because it would touch all these, and I won't do it pink because it will touch that one. If I hadn't done that one pink, I could have, but because I chose that, I really have no choice right here. I mean, I guess I do have a choice, but there we go. Let's see. And in the middle, I think I will use a teal. Teal, I think this will look interesting with the orange and with the purple. Let's see. I'm doing this quicker than I normally do, but and see how this is starting to shape up? Now this has an interesting shape here, this has an interesting shape there, and just continue to color until you get to the point that you are happy with it. And I'm going to use the pink here again. I think I'm just liking it. There we go. And one more last and final color. So I'm going to use the green again in here. And something else you can do, if you see how if I hold my pencil here, I push the pencil into my hand here and I just hold it with my 3 fingers like this. If you get the pencil sideways, it's a quick way to use the edge of the pencil to color. Now, it doesn't always work in certain areas, but it works good for the big part. But when you get to the edges, you want to obviously be careful and make sure that you stay on the lines because it looks nicer. There we go. And that gives you the idea of what we want to do. So try this on your own. Fill the whole thing in. If you want to keep a few little sections white, like here, in these back corners, you could keep those white where there's not a lot of other circles. You could add more circles in this, you could add less circles. Really just try this and see what you can do. And when I get finished here, I'll continue to work on this, and I will post another picture of this after. Have a great day and good luck.